Hello, world. Welcome to our Tuesday night show where we torture our characters for your entertainment.
Yes, welcome literally the whole world. We know every last one of you is watching. Don't leave.
Or will be one day.
Yeah,
Not just our world now. So
yeah, it's true. We've broken the barriers. There are more worlds than these guns.
Yes, this is our Monsters of the Week stream. If you are just tuning into this episode, you might want to watch at least the previous episode because it is the lead up to this. But I do recommend going to our YouTube channel and catching up on all of the episodes because we are in the final climax of our season, which is very, very exciting for all of our characters.
Season 1 finale, y'all.
What?
Season 1 finale, y'all. 11 months in the making.
No.
Boy, I've been Rory a long time now.
And a long time yet.
These little babies.
Oh man, the beans.
Well, last week we had a number of horrifying revelations. We may have miscalculated. Seriously, in a while ago, in our strategy for how to beat the world's most terrible wizard.
to be fair, we tried our plan, and then the people who said it wouldn't work went in and tried their plan and screwed up everything.
It's been a journey. So, but without further ado, TM, who I don't know if you should have Thomas in there anymore.
Oh, I shouldn't. You're right.
Not cool. That's so not cool. You leave him right there.
He's not even cold.
Right there.
Oh, he is. I will tell you, he is certainly not cold. Very warm, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Cosmic energies of creation swirling about his corpse.
I'm pretty sure we have blood spraying on our faces from him or something.
Oh, you would. Yeah. So the unfortunate part about revelations when you're playing chess with no information against the mastermind is sometimes they sucker punch you. Thomas and his counterparts were always the way beyond our reality. And in a horrible flash of insight, you understand that to be true. And the pieces begin to fit into place for all of you, because now you're experienced thinkers and investigators and untanglers of conspiracy.
Experienced thinkers.
Yep.
Yes, that is what we are at this point.
At least Mike is. Samrari. Rose usually sees things how they're going. Edith just makes messes, but so it all began, God knows how long prior, when Jason Grayson, a wizard heretic, took control of a idle rich man's fantasy cult on a private island off of the Washington coast and manipulated it to his ends. His goal, to bring something powerful over, to find some way to infect it with a vulnerability that would doom it and everything of its like, and then unleash it back again into the ether that is the cosmos, to spread that infection and to spread that weakness, and hopefully to spread that death to the cosmology of creation itself. A horrifically ambitious plan that involves remaking reality and the hierarchy of creation as we know it, something that only a mad wizard with I guess one has to call it a mutation from birth to access magic and perceive reality in a way that no one else can. Our heroes got involved as, well, unfortunately, mind-controlled patsies at first, out to get him assets in his experimentation, pursue rare texts from the Wellport University Library, and otherwise ply their many and varied gifts in service to him.
That part worked, so we got some books.
Yep. He also used you to further his experiments. And something you didn't know that you just learned last time is part of furthering his experiments was in creating fetches of you every time one of his experiments ended in a fatality. Your last memories before being ended were indeed your last memories. But the Shattered King, a shard of a god of infinite might and unknowable grandeur, trapped in this world as pieces of him were carved off and put into experimental vessels, into homunculus. He decided that he would make contact with this particular batch, that you wouldn't just be resurrected in your new and current forms, but that he would interfere in your behalf in exchange for concessions, freeing the most recent success, the original experiment, Subject Zero, Thomas, or the human vessel containing a shard of himself. All that you have done, all that you have experienced, has been a result of forces greater than you or more in the know than you, steering these shards back together so that they collide at just the right point, that one of the vessels that Jason has created, one of the fetches, truest to its nature and in its most vengeful state of mind, the ultimate realization of Edith's pain and rage and confusion and bitterness, could do what needed to be done. You responded to the trap. The bait was set. Young dreamers drawing the shard of the Shattered King that had survived the disease and his splintering, to a confrontation with Thomas, who had become a much more intact version of the finger of the nameless king from beyond. They confronted one another, and then the fetch Edith struck. She murdered Thomas, and she murdered the Shattered King in one fell swoop. The collision of their power and the moment of their deaths has rent a hole in reality right before your very eyes. And your final realization was the new company you possessed, someone who's been stalking you for all you know across the country. Jason Grayson, the mad wizard himself, who has played upon your instincts at every turn, who abused your trust and love for your new friend, and who created the endgame he's been seeking all along. The world is broken, the sky is torn, and things are coming through. And now we begin part 1 of 3 of our season finale, the end. Your brains, your sight can scarcely comprehend what you're seeing. You can contextualize what's left of your friend. 2 destroyed and shattered corpses linked together by a white-hot improvised blade of iron, projecting raw power into the night sky. The night sky that has shattered like glass to expose beyond sights that defy imagination and conceptualization. Horrific faces, noises that you can't hear but in your thoughts. Arms of eldritch energy reaching through, touching other realities on their way to your own. Different smokes and vessels and whispers falling to earth. The air itself feels weird, like you're suddenly under thin water. Everything feels heavy. The sound around you suddenly, the noises, the hustle and bustle of living on Earth in this universe feels muted, as if you're hearing it through some sort of thick foam. And all the while, Jason is strolling past your shocked, blood-spattered forms and staring up at the sky with a very stupid grin on his face. And the first thing you hear him say is, "Finally." What do you do?
Do we see any specific forms coming through? Any creatures? Anything looks...
All of you roll weird.
Won't go to that one. 9.
Nearly as bad as I could roll. 6.
2.
I'm going, I swear.
It's all good.
Thank you, Lord of the Rings fan, for my day. I swear without her, I would never make it through these games. Okay. I only got a 7.
Mike, you can't see anything, but you can feel it. And man alive, is your leg itching. It to the point where it's throbbing, like you have just been devoured by mosquitoes or fleas, like swollen, itching, uncomfortable. And if you had to guess, the reason you can't see them is because they're not the strictest English definition of arrived yet, but they are coming. Their form and their presence is just so great. They manifest differently and slower than you would as supernatural simulacra yourself.
What is your plan going forward now, Jason?
He's coming. He'll sense the road home. I'll let him go through, and everything changes.
Your disease carrier?
He's strong enough by now. He has to be. I'm betting everything on it. It's beautiful.
I'm going to take a shot at him.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just freaking looking to blast him with my fiery force blast.
Go for it. Roll for it. And what you get?
That is an 11.
What's the harm?
If it should all go through, 2 harm, 2 harm fire, 1 harm force.
You launch your best blast, and he sort of turns to you as he sees you sort of winding up for it. You don't telegraph it, but he can obviously sense and experience sort of the telltale signs this is coming. And he turns into the blast and just watches it come. And with a squelch and a bang, it tunnels its way through his chest, bursts from the other side in a spray of gore and viscera. He makes a gurgling noise and coughs up a mess load of blood and looks down. Looks at you guys with shock and horror on his face. And then smiles through bloody teeth. Something weird tugs at the corner of your consciousness, something that doesn't feel right. You suddenly feel unmoored, like your feet are off the ground, but you haven't moved anywhere. Like gravity is turned off, but only from your insides. You feel dizzy. You feel like you're spinning around, and before your very eyes, he doesn't so much as regenerate as replenish. The wound is there, and then in an instant, it's gone. And he laughs and claps in delight. Yes!
What do you mean, yes?
We've become unmoored. We've become unmoored from time, from our mortal reality. I can't die.
Let's see.
Does that mean nobody can die?
Well, it depends on how many people share our current plane and instance of existence, and, well, whether or not you die or are merely unmade. I'm imagining I could burn you all to your root components. What are you, Ediths? Snails, snakes, puppy dog tails? You, rose, sugar, spice, everything nice. You, Mike, crucifixes, rosaries, and spent shell casings. You, Rari.
A whole load
I have
of
no idea
fuck
what
you.
you'd be made of. I tell you what, the most fascinating part about you, Dragon, is the coin. Shocking that would be replicated, but I find the power to create life to be the Nameless King's most interesting of domains.
We don't have time for this.
I'm just going to turn my back on him and go over to where the 2 bodies are staked in the ground and see if I can unstake him, see if there's anything.
The closer you get, the more thick the air starts to feel. First, it kind of feels like you're wading through water. And then a couple of more steps feel like gelatin. And then a couple of more steps feel like wet cement, and a painful buzzing ringing starts to erupt in your ears, and a pain starts crackling like smashed Rice Krispies or popcorn behind your eyes. And you are self-aware enough that if you push this any further, you will probably not be able to get closer than like 10 paces, and you will hurt yourself. Go ahead, Rose.
Can Rose feel Thomas through the bond, or is that not a thing?
Roll weird.
Okay, that's good for us. It's a pretty good one. Weird. That's going to be a 10.
You don't just reach out, you reach out with everything. You understand how this works and how it feels by now, and you know how to touch his essence in ways that sort of lay out his entire power before you, and that help you speak to him even non-verbally there at the end. And every other time you've done this, as this gift developed, you felt power like you had stuck a penny in a light socket, but without the pain, until the moment he became aware that you were doing it, upon which you would always feel warmth and this sense of peace as you got some feeling of his emotions towards you. And this is the first time that when you reach out to touch that, you feel cold. It's an icy cold, like deep water in the ocean. It doesn't feel like a thing. It feels like it's frigid and frozen absence.
Who has the crystal? Or one of them?
Rose, I think.
Just do a scan of everything. What do I see?
I'm going to have you roll cool on that.
Oh, no.
So that's 10.
I'll tell you what you see if you can sustain one harm and take the damage of looking at it long enough.
Sure.
All right. One unmitigatable harm. You force yourself to stomach the mind-turning sights long enough to report back. It feels like you are under psychological turbulent attack. Like psychic energy is ripping its way through you like a sonicator rips through food. It makes you nauseous, sick to your stomach. Your head spins. The world is fracturing. Cracks like glass everywhere, leaking, oozing darkness. Purples and blacks and ocean blues and red are coming out of the very atmosphere itself and floating into the sky in globules and chunks and forms and bodily outlines and even more horrific sculptures that look as if they've been made, conjured, pieced together out of blood and gunk itself. And from the embraced twin bodies of Thomas and the King, an absolute stream of what could only be described as knives and needles made of reality itself are pouring forth into the night sky. And before you have the good sense to put the crystal down and realize that your mind is about to splinter, and not in a Lovecraftian madness or mental health way, but in a literally about to come out of your ears like liquefied gray matter way, you can see it slashing holes in reality, little slices, little tears, and they all lead somewhere different. Some of them are nice enough and digestible enough to look like a night sky with constellations you don't recognize. Others look like deep, dark places, abysses underwater or under some sort of other substance, or cavernous hideaways of eldritch forces. But others still, you can only describe as gateways into hell, and you don't want to look through them for very long.
This is getting worse. We need to do something about this soon.
People burn the bodies.
You can do something about it, Jason says.
What?
Find him, steer him here, clear his path, let him cross over. The way should repair behind him.
And would give you what you want.
Of course it would. Oh, fake, Rory. Everything you've done for the last year has been to give me what I want. Let it go. Embrace it.
Rory, burn the bodies.
Take a shot. I would actually care to see that.
I am ignoring him actively, and I do the thing again.
Roll weird.
8, 9, 10, 11.
You launch another blast at the twin forms. It doesn't dissipate so much as it splinters, reforms, comes apart into a million tiny pieces, like almost like a star collapsing and splintering and dying before the flecks of your power are pulled every which direction and wink out of existence.
Edith, I don't think that's the way. This one here, I'd say, pointing to Jason, we're not going to make any headway there. And there's nothing I can do for it. Not that I know of, not that I have time to learn. That leaves one option as far as I'm aware.
Is Angry Edith dead or gone? Did she die when she stabbed him?
As far as you can tell, she either winked away in some like magical retreat, or at the moment of the explosion of the twin gods' power, she was literally unmade.
One of the two.
In a way that your brain couldn't even internalize. It's one of the two.
Hard to know unless she shows up again, or we take the time scrying, which isn't what I want to do.
No.
That's not where I want to focus my energy.
I thought she was more like angrier Edith.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Edith just gives him a look and just sits down on the ground.
Or what Jason would say, an unpolluted Edith.
No. And Rose will go to Edith and try to pull her back up. She's like, you can't.
I can't what? I'm sorry. We broke the planet. We literally broke the planet. We didn't do the thing we were supposed to do.
You know, we have to fix it, right?
All gods are doomed to die, Edith. His time was only destined to come sooner than the rest. It is over. It is a new world.
Oh my bloody god, he never shuts up. Edith.
No one stands above us anymore.
I'm gonna spend some time and patch up my wounds while I have a chance.
I think that's how it works, Jason.
It's how it will work.
It doesn't matter because it's all gone to shit.
You have one way to save your planet, Edith. You have one way to save your people. Help me, like you should have done before. Help me put all this to right and finish what I started.
Well, apparently,
put it to right.
The whole time.
This is yours.
Yes, it is. Creation itself in the palm of my hand. This is how they feel, Rory. This is how they feel when they toy with things smaller than themselves, when they invade realities that are beneath them and break them. Their very presence besmirches this place.
Funny thing, though, I don't think you're playing with them like that. I think you're playing with us and everybody else like us.
Yeah, no shit.
I turn to Edith. Edith, I still get your permission then?
Yeah. Do whatever. It's not going to matter.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that anymore. I spent too long on it. And as soon as you pulled your head out of your arse, I'll be fighting for you still. And I am going to once again stretch out and resume my draconic form. And I'm going to attempt to take flight and look for... All right. 10.
You transform successfully. All of a sudden, that telltale shrinking of everything around you as you get so much larger. You feel your wings unfurl. You feel your true form unfolding before you. And Jason just looks up at you and grins and holds out his hand. And then everything feels wrong. And suddenly you're shrinking again, compacting into yourself, and it hurts. It's almost like your bones are breaking and stitching themselves back together as your form is crammed back into its humanoid self. It takes only a matter of 5 or 6 violent seconds before you are left a heap in the ground. Still Rory Flynn, not a dragon. And he just cackles high-pitched at you. You were never real! That form, that dragon, I gave it to you. I made it with the power of his dreams, and you would think to deploy it against me? You're a man. You're a phony. You're a fake. You're a homunculus made by a god from the dead last of your kind. I own you! Yes.
Okay, so I'm mad because the only thing I think that I could maybe do to help is possibly maybe protect Rory, who is actually my responsibility, and I do still feel very strongly.
Hey, go for it. Y'all want to run into the briar patch that is the world's most powerful wizard over and over again. Keep it coming.
No. Okay, the rock thing didn't work. She couldn't punch him. We can't burn a hole in him. However, he said the rules of reality no longer apply. So, fuck it. Edith would like to try to reach out with her -1 weird power to this weird psychic whatever is pushing over here, because apparently no rules work anymore. And Edith would like to try to turn into a dragon because Rory was a person. Edith shouldn't be a dragon. But maybe because she has the bond with him and can piggyback off of his successes, she can pull energy out of this and all of her anger into a form that would be more useful, and at least then she can, like, you know, attack Cthulhu.
Roll for it, folks. Roll the dice.
Yeah. Remember, we have options if it doesn't work.
Ooh, that is a 10.
Okay. Rory, roll weird yourself.
All right. Screw it. This is my best stat. 8.
Edith, I can give this a way to succeed, but there'll be a consequence. Or it can fail and the consequence will be less severe. What do you choose?
Fuck it. We'll just take all the consequences. Why not? The world is falling apart.
Yeah, this isn't the time we hold back. I don't know if I'll be saying that after I find out what it is, but
roll weird.
Oh no.
Oh shit. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. I'm good at weird. Okay. I got a 10 again.
Okay. Edith reaches out, almost her dark, twisted version of I would say agnostic, but it's really more amnignostic prayer to reality itself to try to force some power and some shape back into Rory. Rory, you sense this happening, but you get a whiff. You get an instinct that it's just not going to work. Jason has removed that ability from you. You can't transform anymore, but you can push back, push out the conceptualization of your draconic knowledge and form. And you guys do, and there's this weird culmination in this broken, rippling reality as something struggles to take shape, but it can't quite coalesce. And then Rose has the instinct to pour any and all of her grief and rage into a burst of magical power to push the thing over the finish line. And in a thunder crack out of nowhere and completely distinct and separate from the man Rory Flynn himself, his draconic form claws its way out of its own hole in reality and stands over you at your back, Rory, and snarls Jason's direction, who just starts to clap. That was cool.
Rory, can it eat him?
Probably not. But it may be able to give that some head.
What?
Probably
Do you know what
not.
I would like to see, gang? Just looking at that wonderful, mighty feat of conjuration right there. And credit to you. It's a great team effort. Mr. Flynn, is that your memory of yourself and your full majesty, your full might?
Can it eat him?
I'm just curious.
Do I have any control?
Is that what you remember you're like?
Maybe.
Do you know what I would like to see then? I would like to see how it compares to the real thing. And he raises his hand up to the heavens. His eyes roll back into his head, and instead of white, there's darkness. And Rose is the most magically attuned of the group. You suddenly feel a burst of magical power as strongly as any you have ever felt in your life. Stronger than Thomas, stronger than any of the shards you have met before. And Rory, you feel something wrong. A sickness, a rot to the pit of your stomach as the coin starts to heat up and vibrate.
Oh, shit.
Does Rory have the coin or do I have the coin?
You do.
Yeah.
And slowly, an inky blackness is ripped from it. First slowly, like a leak of ooze, but then quickly snatched. It hits the ground, bubbles, coalesces, and unfolds into a rotting, decomposing corpse that looks an awful lot like Rory and transforms into its draconic form before your very eyes, before twitching and cobbling to its feet, unfolding torn, bony wings in all its majesty. Rise again. The original versus the fake. Let's see how that goes. Come on.
Yeah, I think he's baiting us, guys. Can we go find? Because what I want to climb on this dragon's back that's ours, and go find the thing that's gonna destroy the gods and maybe eat it.
We should start backing up. Friend, cover us, please. I'm gonna start like scrabbling in the direction of the plague monster.
Jason just reaches out a hand and idly strokes the zombified, decaying flesh of the dragon next to him. Does it offend you to see what became of you after I killed you? The zombie dragon lets out a low moan.
I slow down.
Rory, burn them. And with a mighty flap of its skeletal wings, the zombie dragon takes flight, circles once, and comes for you just as the simulacra takes flight itself. Who wants to roll for it?
Okay, well, probably I should.
I think, yeah, it should be.
Okay, hold on one second.
Go ahead, Rose.
So I know Rose is very much a baby witch, but she would like to, I don't know, give as much power as she can to our dragon to kick that dragon's ass.
Roll weird.
Okay.
Well, and then was I supposed to be rolling for the dragon?
Yeah, you're gonna roll sharp because he's trying to fly away. So you're
rolling
for
sharp.
speed.
Oh, that's a 12.
Yeah. What'd you roll, Rose?
11.
So what you wanted to cast? Just a general kind of buff or haste or?
I think probably haste would be better. Just make it so fast and give it as much shot as it can before it gets hit.
You cast a perfect spell. You don't quite know what you did because you're trying to kind of just feeling your way through it and relying upon your dregs of sort of Thomas's innate magical understanding. But you do something, and it feels positive. And the conceptual dragon takes off like a rocket towards the city proper. And the zombie dragon, especially with its ruined wings, cannot even begin to keep pace. You leave it in the dust, And it's not long before you look behind it and you see it peeling back and start making lazy circles around the pillar of light, tearing a hole in the sky. A horrible sentinel and reminder. And you have escaped it and are flying back to the city proper. What do you do next?
Rory, are you hurt?
Oh, only my mind and emotions. I had a very distinct thought back there. The worst thing that's ever happened to me is the fact that I was chained to people who didn't care about what happened to me or who I was, and that I never had the chance to make another choice for myself. And that, back there, I think I have as much of a claim at this point to be the real me as that. But whatever that is back there, it's got it worse. I'd like to free it if we can. Even if that just means finding a way to kill Jason.
Well, clearly we need to kill Jason.
Yeah, he's gotta go.
Wait, are we flying? Are we flying on the dragon, or are we?
Well, I was a little unclear on that point, but it sounded
I
like
got
it.
lost too, but I think we're on the dragon flying.
Yeah, okay, we're on the dragon. Cool.
That's correct. Dylan.
Yes, and as far as you can tell, Edith, the dragon doesn't have a personality. It's like a vehicle. You're just sort of steering it with your thoughts.
We now have a dragonite. I understand.
Okay. Cool.
That's
I would
a Pokemon thing.
normally say we shouldn't fly near inhabited areas because we don't want people to freak out, but there's a hole in reality, a giant pillar in the sky, so I don't think it's really important anymore.
Yeah, I think probably.
I'd imagine we're only like the fourth or fifth strangest thing that any of these people have seen today.
We're pretty low scale right now.
I don't suppose you have like military buddies and you could just call in some sort of drone strike, do you, Mike?
I don't think that's going to do much good. What I saw coming through, that hole is ripping holes into other realities, other universes, and it continues to do so, and things are starting to come into this universe. It's taking time for them to form. I don't think our weapons are going to affect them, at least until they become material. By then it might be too late.
Okay, so we don't know how to fix any of this, and the only two places I can think of that might actually have any useful information would be the library or the stupid island.
I think we go for disease, Thomas. I'm going to send some texts, give the information I have up the chain, see if there's any suggestions they have.
You have signal, but something weird is happening. Your messages just kind of fail to send. And it's not a bounce back. You're mashing the button and it just won't go. It's registering the input, but it just won't go.
Rory and I could try to find a shard of Thomas.
I think that's what we need to do. Get it back here. Get disease Thomas here to. Then at least the other sides of the universe might have incentive to close this hole down at the very least.
It was easier before when he was here, but I can try.
So we're just going to shove the plague carrier out into the universe so it can kill the gods?
No, we can't do that. We can't.
I know what to do.
It's going to be heading this way anyway. Might as well go find it.
If we can find... If there's any of Thomas in a city that wasn't accounted for, if we can get a hand on any of it, we might be able to use it, absorb the thing, or do whatever. Maybe change its course. Change it, even.
So we start
What if
by
we make a new one?
What?
What if we make a new one?
Hey,
I don't know. How did I make this thing? How did we get made?
I think because when we died, our essences, I think we are actually our souls. I don't think we're not just copies. The other ones were all
whole
copies. They were
fracturing into pieces. What's to say that we couldn't pull a piece of him? That if the soul is a soul, right? It doesn't just disappear.
Michael, roll cool.
Maybe even play.
yeesh. 8.
As you say that and kind of feel around it, you do more than speak it. You're feeling around the concept in your mind. And you have a flash of insight, and you know in that moment that that's not quite right, but it's not quite wrong either.
There was somebody who was working very closely with trying to get Thomas a soul. And she's a little crazy, but everything's crazy. We could try talking to her.
I'd try anyone.
Edith, you want to call the professor?
I mean, are our phones working? Also,
Same thing is happening, but
We do know where we left her.
you do know where you left her.
didn't she run away?
No, we dropped her off at a facility.
Oh, that's right. We put her in an insane asylum.
Yeah. I mean,
We
that's
said we would deal with it when we got home. We didn't think when we got home reality would split into thousands of pieces.
I mean, that whole this just has a whole new dimension since we've just seen Rose in an insane asylum. But yeah,
there's a lot going on.
Oh
Okay.
gosh, it's not the same hospital, is it?
No.
Okay, cool.
Wouldn't be.
Because we
Yeah,
just
yeah,
tore
it
that
would-
one to shreds.
Yeah, it would have been an urban, not a suburban facility if you would have
All
left.
right.
As I recall, you were seeking expedience in dropping her off to embark on your road trip. So
Well, then let's start by
Uh,
finding her, and Rari and I can try to find a piece of Tom, and then we just got to figure out how to build Tom again, right?
Let's go talk to her, see what's even possible.
even if it was, it probably wouldn't be all the same. I don't know if we could get all of his experiences, everything he's been through. At best, we could probably do it with whatever our memory of Tom was. Maybe not, him as
I
he
know
was.
we're not going to be him, but we need a him right now.
None of us are us. So you know what? We can all just be fake versions of ourselves because apparently we have to fix the universe.
We'll figure out the next step after we figure out the first step.
Fake is better than nothing.
So are we all going to the doctor's office, or are we can we split up and cover more ground?
you can do whatever you want.
Let's not split
I was
up.
gonna, as the keeper,
It'd
I
be
feel
hard
like it would be
to-
expedient to recommend that as the apocalypse is unfolding around you, that there's strength in numbers. But it is up to you.
I've watched
Also,
enough
communicating with
Scooby-Doo.
each other would be hard.
Yeah, mostly because we wouldn't have a way to communicate.
That's true.
Now I know that I can't right now be a dragon man. But I would try to just I don't know, change the size of my hand or something and see if the rest of my shapeshifting is working. Or if he just shorted out all of it.
Roll weird.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12.
It works, but it hurts. It's uncomfortable. Something. He didn't take it away from you entirely, but it's like it's imagine like a roll of bread, and he tore off a huge piece of it. What's left, you could probably change your form to some basic stuff, look like a different person, maybe assume the form of a small animal, but it would be uncomfortable and different.
As a heads up, in case we need to get into any quick getaways, we think that Harsari might be on the fritz.
That's very understandable.
Rory, roll sharp.
That one's not as good. But I rolled real good. I roll a 10 for a 9.
It strikes you as you feel the damage he's done that this had to have been part of the plan all along, to imbue you with gifts that he could take away. It doesn't mean he could take away everything, but it means what you had on the island is not going to be a reliable weapon.
Let's see. I've gained certain magical powers since then, including ones that were supplied by a king who is now impaled. Spells should still work.
Edith,
Yes,
you
they
still have
should.
the coin?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe long term you can figure out some way to use the coin to get back something.
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't either.
But
Maybe.
I'm not going to lose it.
Wait, thank you. It just can't be a priority right now, I think.
The coin might be a good start, though, on helping the other Rari.
That's true.
Well, I'd sure like it if he could either wake up or go all the way to sleep.
By the way, on this hospital, are y'all gonna try to like enter through the roof? Y'all gonna touch down?
We could.
I think we're going to touch it in a nearby park and run inside.
We can parallel park me, and then
I think landing on the helipad might be less attention drawing than landing in a park.
Yeah.
Not as many people see the helicopter pad.
I'm down.
do we have guns and stuff?
I mean, what are people going to do when they see a dragon? They can't hurt it.
Right, like
Yeah, I
now's
think,
not a
and
great
again,
time
they've got
to
bigger
war.
issues.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll just leave the dragon on the roof. It'll be fine.
Wait.
Fingers crossed the architecture of the building can sustain a dragon on top of it. Thank you.
Study.
Pat it on the nose. Good boy.
With its eyes just completely vacant and empty, it sits like a dog and sticks its tongue out.
Oh my god, he's so cute. I know
I'm
now's
really-
not the time, but she
I'm
like
really
kind of
excited.
passed him.
Focus.
Its tail starts sort of metronomically wagging.
Oh my god, stop petting it.
Okay,
I
okay, let's go.
I don't know if I feel better or worse about that.
Woof.
Worse. It's worse. I'm
I-
going in. I try to open a door.
Pat.
No!
Stay.
Don't do that.
It sort of robotically lies down and rolls over.
All right. Well, I liked being a puppy quite a bit. All right, but that's not what we're doing right now. We're saving the
You
planet.
get sort of the insight that this thing is governed by you and your internal reality. If you treat it like a dog, it's going to act like a dog.
Cool.
All right.
Let's
all
go.
Right. All right, let's go inside. We'll deal with you later.
The first thing you notice inside is that everything is wrong. Namely, the people standing frozen in various scenes of retreat and panic. The other thing that is wrong is they're not just standing still in scenes of retreat and panic. They have been altered. You notice one orderly is running away with his hands stretched out against him like this, frozen in midair, and a table is stretched across his hands, filled with various pieces of paper and oddments. And a couple of other people are in various poses of like taking cover or shielding themselves, but they have been moved to prop a bed sheet against the wall that has all kinds of mathematical and chemical formulae drawn on it and what looks like makeup. And
No.
another person is sort of on their back staring at the ceiling in horror and kind of a contorted pose. but there is a garbage bag sort of stretched across her limbs as sort of like a holder for the garbage bag, and it is full of various styrofoam cups and takeout containers, plastic takeout containers from the cafeteria. And these scenes are all over the mental health floor. And it does not take you long to find who you're looking for. Janessa flitting about amongst these human statues, using them in various efficient but undignified ways, and talking to herself as she writes things down on any surface she can find.
As we're going through, making sure nobody's in a position where if he suddenly gets unfrozen, he's going to injure himself.
The only thing you can find even remotely similar are the ones that she has stacked on top of each other, like clearly using them as a footstool to get to some higher cabinets.
Just move them around so.
I won't act like I wouldn't have done that.
Hi, Janessa. You seem busy.
You're back.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's good to see you. I had feared that I had gone insane as reality itself began unmaking itself around me.
You have gone insane, but we're hoping there's enough of you left that you can help us.
No,
Make our friend
not insane. Sane, fully sane. Know what's going on. Only one who knows what's going on. Only one who can move, not unmoored from space-time, intact. Anchored instead to something beyond that allows me to occupy same temporal space as you.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Now, I have a question, and I don't mean to sound cross, but why did it take you months to come find me?
I think it's only been 4 days.
Yep.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Since the
No,
sky
no,
exploded,
no.
it's been a couple hours.
No. The sky exploded. Time itself was shredded. Everybody was jolted from this stream. And I have been here for so long. Trying to figure it out, examining. I've conducted experiments. I have pushed people over to see if they fall. They do. I have
so this is
tried
all
to manipulate their limbs. I cannot.
I think we were closer to the epicenter of what caused this, so maybe we're going through different time because it's only been a couple hours for us.
You are
Yes,
instinct
of course.
that helps.
Hmm?
You were the first person we came to see, actually.
Yeah.
That makes me feel an order of magnitude better, which on the scale of how good I'm feeling puts me just one level above shit and south of not happy.
That seems
I
fair.
appreciate the improvement. Now, what can I do for you? Welcome to my abode. After I liberated myself using a safety pin and began using the forms of the Lost in Time to aid me in my research, I have been attacking this problem. Well, you no doubt are killing things that you should not. Yes, Edith.
We need you to make Thomas again.
Say what now?
We need you to make Thomas again so that we can use him to kill the other Thomas and hopefully also kill Jason.
At least that's our first thought.
But we're
One of
open
these
to
days, you
plan.
lot will come to me asking me to do something like create a battery or cook meth and not actually create life.
Well, some meth might help this go down a bit better. I don't know.
Rory, no, we're not
No.
meth.
What?
All
You know,
right,
I have
fine.
tried to make different chemical reactions here, but those seem to be inconsistently, but usually frozen in time as well.
No
I tried to
drugs,
start a
understood?
fire in the janitor's closet, and it is stuck at the stage of sparks still. And I've kind of been waiting for that to go up and take the whole hospital with it, but thus far it has not done so.
How have you eaten?
I'm
I'd have
gonna
the
go.
toilets flushed.
I have eaten, Rory. I have eaten. I have eaten first things from the cafeteria, and then I have eaten the things that live in the walls, and then I have moved to less nourishing fare that I will not speak of here.
All right, fair enough.
I'm going to go put out the fire while she's talking to them. Make sure. Not sure how that works, but I'm going to try.
Sure thing. If you just like douse what looks like a whole burst of sparks in air, it kind of changes to just the water you splash floating in air, but the sparks are gone.
It sure would be an interesting experience watching the end of the world on a real slow play.
Oh, it is terrible. For you see, the hospital, I do believe, experienced 15 or 20 seconds of panic before the time streams became detached from reality, like an embroidery being ripped from fabric. And you would be amazed what people do when they think they're about to die in a fiery biblical apocalypse. I don't advise you to look in janitorial closet C. There are several people seeking to have experiences with one another that they had missed out on in life that began such activity and now find themselves frozen into it. Quite disturbing. Very grotesque. Wish I'd never seen it. Yes.
Janessa, can you help us with the Thomas thing?
The boy bought it, did he?
A copy of me, which I mean, okay, we're all copies. None of us are real. So congratulations. My life has no meaning. But
we're having a hard time with that one, but we don't have time.
That's a revelation.
Fuck you. Copy of me killed Thomas and the other god that he was connected to. And so, but we need him back.
I'm sorry. I just find it strange that a bunch of people didn't believe it was odd that they were suddenly developing a full suite of supernatural powers.
I always have
something wrong with you.
In fairness, Rose is the only one developing supernatural powers. I suck at it, and Rory's just naturally a dragon.
Is he?
I mean, well, okay, we thought he was.
Janessa, focus, please.
I am focused. I am hyper-focused. Edith, he always knew it would be you. That is no surprise to me at all. However, I did not expect him to bite it quite this soon. Expected it to be more of a all-hands-on-deck situation, which probably would have unmade reality as we know it in one sudden burst, had the three of them been on site at once. So I am guessing, just based on what's happening, that it was two of them, correct?
Yeah, the plague carrier is still gone.
Well, fascinating. Thomas's plan failed.
Thomas's plan?
Our plan. But the boy had the flash of inspiration to embark upon it in the first place.
What was Thomas's plan?
Yeah.
He knew that this would always end in his death. He just knew that that death would become powerful enough to take some of his lot with him. He had hoped to collect all of himself together before the end. He figured that end would come from you, Edith, as you are the impulsive one. But it seems that something would have gone wrong, no?
Well, we killed him too early.
We
Would
had
not
started
have thought you would
collecting.
have killed him at all. I respect the ruthlessness you have developed in my absence.
It actually wasn't her. It was her fetch who killed Thomas, who had also collected other parts of himself. So it was more than just the Thomas you knew. There were other shards of him collected, and he was attempting to kill the Nameless King.
Fantastic. The dear
Follow
boy
it.
did it.
I'm just a fetch. I'm basically the same thing as the other one. So, sure, I killed him. It's fine. We just need him back because it was a mistake.
I have some bad news. So, what do you see happening out there when you see stuff happening out there?
Big old hole in the sky. A limited timeline until a plague Thomas launches itself up into it. And
what does the hole in the sky represent to you, Rory?
Are we talking in metaphors or?
It's the unraveling, isn't it? That's what Jason said.
It's a wound. It's a wound in everything.
Yes. Unraveling, wound. All correct. All very correct. Now, where did the wound come from?
The energy of the death of a god and its copy.
And where were the god and its copy? Where were they tenants in? Where were they camping? Where had they taken up residence?
Human bodies.
One of which being the boy, your friend. Now, if you had an energy inside of you that converted into the very stuff of unraveling and destroying reality upon it being destroyed, do you think there would be anything left of you at ground zero?
Well, there was of Thomas.
Translation, he dead.
You can't find him again?
He dead.
Doesn't souls just like they don't disappear, right? It's energy.
I have to spell it out for you, Edith. That boy has expired. He rests in peace.
Okay.
He has
I
been
get
torn
that.
into
But
itty
there-
bitty tiny temporal
All
pieces.
right, this instance of Thomas is dead. But even if we can't get our friend back, which makes me upset, but there's something out there. There's parts of the king that haven't been found yet, right? There's the things that absorb each other that are trying to reconnect.
I was trying to investigate that actually in the last several months. The ritual room is in one of the padded cells, trying to identify what extant shards there are. And I came upon an interesting revelation that I found just heartily surprising. There's one.
There's one what?
One shard left.
Where is it?
Outside of the plague carrier.
The sick one?
Yes, I do believe that makes the most sense, considering it was, shall we say, the biggest lion on the plane, and
So
had
that's the last
apparently undertaken the exercise of eating its counterparts, as it were.
That's the last one then.
Yes. The others had been apparently reunited somewhere else, and then they went.
So it's a dead end. It's a dead bloody end. I'm out of ideas. I can try and punch it. I can try
have
and
one.
punch it real good.
What if you could?
Wait, what's your idea?
Follow me. Come, toot sweet. Make sure when you turn the corner, you watch out for Nurse Gertrude. She is fragile. She is having problems with her hip, and she has found herself posed in a most awkward position. Come. And she trots off down the hall.
I follow.
I'm going to set Nurse Gertrude on a gurney if I can, so she won't break her hip when she
That
gets
is appreciated, because as you find her, she is like leapt into the air in shock, and her like toes are touching the ground, but that is it. And she's like 45-degree angled, so that's probably a good idea. She leads you to what is basically another wall, and around the wall is littered lipstick and mascara and Bic pens and a couple of pints of cafeteria mashed potatoes. And on the wall is written in all these various substance, all kinds of scrawlings and mathematical equations and weird symbols you can't quite identify. And she has written about 100 feet of wall with that stuff and leads you before it and goes, "Behold."
What is this?
Rose,
Yeah,
does this
I'm
make
a
any
writing
sense to you?
major.
This is Janessa's theory of everything.
Can you give
Is
it
there a translation?
in a summary?
Yes. What is it the man from the movie said? There's too much. Let me sum up. This is creation.
Was that's it right there? You got all of it then.
And
I figured it out. Whatever happened to my squiggly bits? I can see things that I could not see before. I can see various shades that I could not see. The colors have more depth. I can hear them. I can taste sights. I can smell concepts. And I am marrying those instincts with mortal math and true alchemy and magical theorem as I've understood them, reading up on the private books that you have assembled in the place that was destroyed, that you took me to. And I have sketched the theory.
Rose, Rory, does this make any sense to you guys?
Maybe if I had enough time to unravel it, but even if it does, how does it serve us now? What can we do with it?
Yeah, what is the plan, Janessa?
Do any of you know biology?
I've definitely taken apart a lot of people and things.
Do you know what a semi-permeable membrane is?
yes, it
Squishy
goes
bits.
all the way
Oh my
and
God,
together.
Think of our universe like a cell in a body with trillions of them. And the membranes surrounding it, the horizon, as it's called in magical texts, is normally impermeable. Stuff doesn't go out, stuff doesn't come in. That's important because most of what could come in would destroy our entire universe. If it had gas, it would be the second Big Bang. So we like to keep them away. But now they are here. But it's only supposed to be one way. They come here. If enough power goes out, the membrane will seal and reality will recoalesce. The holes will close, the horizon will restore, the walls will be back up, the world will be saved.
So we just need to bomb the tear in the sky.
No, not bomb. No, not kinetic energy, not heat. That is stuff of our universe, byproducts of our physics, the unleashing of our energy and our reality. No, that won't work. Don't work. We need their reality sent back through at the source to close.
To get Sick Thomas to the other Thomases and
Say again?
out. We need to get Sick Thomas and take him to the other Thomases and get all of them out.
One of them would do. Or another supernatural creature of sufficient power.
Jason's got them all suspended.
I've got a fake dragon upstairs. Can we just put that through?
Fake dragon. Tell me fake. Why fake? How fake?
Well,
Like-
not really fake, actually.
Well, it's got bits of me.
Did
It's-
it come from you?
Boy.
Of this world. You need to send something back through that is not of this world.
Can we send Jason back? Surely he's in hell.
He was born here, though.
Do we know that?
He was born here, yes. But the powers he's been dabbling in are very much not of this world.
We can just throw Jason through the hole.
Okay, but that's like saying that, I can win the competition if only I could lift this, like, battleship or something,
Physics doesn't apply anymore. Why can't we just throw him through the hole with our
I
brains?
shut his chest out. I have tried to kill him and eat him and tear him apart
He's not
so
gonna
many
expect us
bloody
to throw him
times
at the
now.
hole. He's not going to expect us to throw him at the hole.
Might I make an observation?
What?
Yes.
I am just going to go out on a limb and estimate that as you have tried to fight against the stream of his master plan, all that has happened is bad things, correct? The death of the boy, the unmaking of reality, things of that nature.
Yes.
So why continue to play the game on his terms? Why continue to do things he will expect?
I've been looking for a way, some way to zag, but he just keeps zagging us in.
That's exactly the point. He's not the only piece on the board. If you keep confronting him, he'll keep outthinking you. He'll outflank you. You'll never prevail. He's too smart, too powerful.
Are you saying we work with him?
I wouldn't. Wouldn't trust him. He's unmoored.
Well,
What other pieces are on the board for us to use?
Seriously?
Who?
What is he doing this for, people?
He wants to kill the gods
How is he going to do that?
with the plague.
Sick Tom.
He's a piece on the board.
We need to find Sick Tom.
That's what I would do if I were you.
Okay, but what do we do with Sick Tom? We can't put him through the hole?
No, but he could maybe put Jason through the hole.
If we find Sick Tom and we don't fight him, we get him on our side. Maybe he'll help us.
I don't know what you folks have been doing for the last half a year, but I'm imagining that is the one individual you have not tried to ally with yet, no?
We
What?
didn't know where he was.
But maybe we could find him. I mean, if he's the only piece of Tom left, surely Rari and I can hone in on that.
I don't think it'll be hard to find.
I also wouldn't get optimistic that there's too much of the boy in the sickness. That
I
seems
know.
like foolhardy hope.
I know.
I
But
am
He
very
should,
sorry.
he should want to kill Jason as much as we do.
Right.
Oh, almost certainly. But
The deal that
word of caution. The big supernatural types, they tend to be of their natures. No? That's what makes them not you, not people. People are crazy. People are irrational. People do whatever they want. Usually violence or sex, but they do whatever they want. The supernatural creatures, they cleave very tightly to their identities, to their realities, to their natures. well, the sickness is going to want to make other people sick. His natural instinct is going to be to give Jason exactly what he wants. You have to find a way around that. You have to find a way to defeat it. Otherwise, it's all for naught.
It all starts with finding him.
Indeed.
How do we, can we burn it? What do we do with the disease?
Convince it sounds like.
I very, very much wish that mortal fire could defeat supernatural disease.
Boy,
Something
me
tells me
too.
we're just not that freaking lucky.
But maybe it doesn't want to be the disease. And can't we find a way to work with it?
It's a lot of other things too now.
Yeah,
it's part of a god.
Here's a thought. So we get Sick Tom to throw Jason through the hole. And then, Mike, what if you just pray to God to smite it?
I mean, the man doesn't listen that often from what I've seen.
I mean, the world isn't going to end not of his doing very often. He seems to want to have the opportunity to judge everything, according to his text. So maybe he has a stake in the world not ending.
So let's
He's
unpack.
not going to end this world. Doesn't mean he won't end all the other ones.
Your theory, Edith. Let's say, for the sake of argument, just for the sake of proof, as if we were solving a geometry problem, that Michael's God exists exactly as Michael believes him to, in hierarchy and power. Assume, arguendo. You want to bring a manifestation of that God here to interact directly with the vessel of a God-killing disease. You think this is a good idea?
Our interests align.
What if Yahweh gets sick, Edith?
Well, why does he have to come down? Why can't he just lightning bolt it?
I think that if the lightning bolts were working, I'd have a better shot.
You drove a van with ordnance in it directly into this thing, and it laughed at you. I don't know what a lightning bolt would do, but I'm imagining not much.
Well,
what if we just find out what it wants? I mean,
let's go talk to this thing.
I think you should listen to Rose, as she has, of course, accomplished the greatest feat of any of you lot. She took a god and made him human.
I wouldn't say that.
I would. I've seen him. I experimented on him. He's not of this place, not of this world, not of you, not of humanity. But he wanted to be, and he conceptualized it to be. He would have done anything for his friends, and he was head over his heels in love.
Let's just go find him.
Yeah. You keep working on making progress on what you're doing. We're going to go see if we can find.
I will. Michael, I have so much more wall. I have so much more spackled tapestry with which I can unfold the mysteries of the universe. But I am running out of nurses' makeup.
It may be a year for you before we get back.
Indeed. Which makes the lack of makeup to write with a more acute problem.
The nurse's station should have plenty of pens.
I was going to say, Rose will give her whatever pens are in her purse and her lipstick.
We could probably give you a drop-off.
Every ritual manifestation of Lord Bick. With my writing cemented, I may continue my research and my theorizing. I will remain here. I will fill the walls with my brilliance, and you will pursue your noble quest and save reality.
And if we're trying to persuade this guy, let's come up with a better name than Disease Thomas.
We could ask him his name.
Well, who's to say it's even a
Yeah. Let's go back up. You want to work on a spell to see if we can figure out where he is?
Sorry, can you help?
Though I imagine the debris will also do a piece of it.
If we go out on the roof, is there any signs of activity in the city?
You see like plumes of smoke, fires, car crashes on the road within your ability to see, but everything is in this weird form of suspended animation. It's like you're looking at the world through a looking glass, a frozen snapshot in time, but you're in it.
Well,
So could probably stay here indefinitely, and time will not super pass.
Why? But is that what you want to
No.
stay here?
You didn't see what I saw through the crystal. That pillar of light is actively tearing holes through other universes, and there are things coming through that are we don't want here.
Bad. They're bad. They're very bad.
Rose, Rory, find
let's do
Friendly
it.
Tom. Let's give him an aspirational name. Friendly Tom.
Let's try.
Roll weird, both of you.
Yeah. And sit down. I'm going to draw circles, and fuck it, I'm also going to bust out Jason's books that I've got to try and make sure I can do this perfect and match the resonances correctly.
Add another +1 to your weird. That's a great idea.
Awesome. Okay, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, +1, 12.
Rose, your turn.
Yeah, sorry, I was just reading a move. I'm gonna use her ability to roll charm instead of weird
Go for it.
by channeling through the bond. So instead of a 10, it's gonna be a 12.
Okay. You cast out your feelers through the ether to try to make contact with that psychic connection. At the same time, Rory tries a very specific and sophisticated tracking spell he finds in one of Jason's texts. And two things happen. First, Rose, you get a hit of hunger so intense you momentarily double over with pain, and it knocks you completely out of the spell space. But Rory, you get a flash of insight, of knowledge, and you suddenly know with bedrock certainty where that thing that just connected with Rose is. And it's Rose and Edith's old house.
You go right, Rose.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I know where it is.
Do it. Get a new outfit.
We're going home.
Wait, we should probably check on the girl as well. I'm sure she ain't having a good time.
Maybe we'll get lucky and Pat's okay. Maybe even because he's good. He's looking for help.
I hope everyone's okay. Probably aren't, though.
Nobody's okay. Half of this city could be fake. None of this could be real. You guys realize we are risking our lives to save people who aren't going to know we did it, and also possibly people who aren't even real.
Boy, not even remembers last I checked in me. That's not me. That's fun. We're all still in, though.
None of it's real, then let's fight to make it real. We can save the world, right? Don't we get to live as the main version of us?
Just because you died doesn't mean you're not real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what we're really fighting for here, but it's fighting for a tomorrow at least. If we just give up what we're going to die in suspended animation, or worse, we don't die and we just stay like that. We got to do something.
Once more into the bloody ass breach.
I'm not saying don't do anything. I'm just saying I don't know that any of this matters.
Boy.
You didn't see what's coming through those holes that are being created. It matters.
All right. Come on, Fido. Let's get moving.
Rose, yes?
Yeah, we would like to fly home.
You just
I
Start
can't
flying.
help it, Rory. He's adorable.
You can cut him. I don't know. I don't have the emotional capacity to care that much. You look like a bloody wanker with your tongue hanging out like that, though. All right. We fly.
You're not far from the university neighborhood, which again finds itself in various scenes of frozen chaos. And he drops you off,
All right.
starts playing with a tree like a stick.
If he hops into the backyard, part of me wonders if he's just like in the spot, you know?
I envision him running up and down the street, amusing himself with like trees and cars as toys.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably what I would do.
Whatever cards are still there, because we did have not too long ago a fight in front of.
Well, I wonder how the remaining drug dealing frat boys are doing. Anyway, let's go. I open the door.
A ghostly apparition of a 9-year-old girl is standing there as if waiting for you.
Oh boy, hello. How are you? Holding up okay?
She motions for you to follow.
Well, I do that.
Yeah.
Come is here. Okay. Does he seem mad? Is he sad?
Follow,
yeah.
yeah.
He may be sleeping.
She leads you to through this place that was your house, and it has been storm tossed. It's like a cyclone has ripped through it. Every drawer that can be ripped out is ripped out. Every piece of furniture that could be flipped is flipped. Broken glass and debris sort of strewn everywhere. And she leads you to your living area, where one piece of furniture is upright, one of your couches, and sitting on it is what can only be described as a Thomas lookalike, but utterly emaciated and with a corpse-like pallor, a yellow, almost green sort of jaundiced hue to his skin, and skin and bones, can't weigh more than like 90 pounds, just sitting on this couch, leaning forward, gazing intently off to space and rocking in place.
Hey there.
This is all you.
Dreams come to torment me. Come back to torment me.
No one's going to torment you. We want to help.
No. You're the lady from the dreams. You're pain. You are pain. All you are is pain.
I don't think so. I'm pretty nice.
Too nice. Nice. Yes. Nice. Kind. I see you through his eyes. I feel things don't want to feel. Feel makes hungrier.
I don't know what that's like, but I know what it's like to be not in love with the feelings.
Don't want to hurt you. Don't
I don't want to hurt you either.
wanted to hurt you before, wanted to feed, have seen, have felt, have dreamed. Don't want to. Oh,
I just want to help. And I think you might want to help us.
I waited for him.
Who'd you wait for?
I waited for the boy. To find me here. To end it.
Tom wanted to help everybody, but doesn't really seem like we're going to get that chance.
It should have been him.
But it's not. It's you and us. And if there's something I can do, I want to. Okay?
Every one of them I devoured. Every one of them I took back into myself. I felt him in my mind, and his humanity is infecting me, but I'm so hungry.
Well, I mean, I don't know how I can help with that. I can give you what I got.
Must feed before long. Can't hold on to this much longer. Can't hold on to this weak, fragile humanity.
Rose, I'll like come up right behind her, be like, what if we let him eat Jason?
That was my next thought.
Okay, I'll let you talk to him.
I don't know what you want us to call you, but there is someone with a god-awful amount of power who shouldn't have it.
Father.
Oh God, please don't call him that. He's the worst.
He is the worst. I stay away. He will throw me through the hole. I will smell them. I will feed.
Or you could throw him through the hole.
Have dreamed of it, have fantasized. Not strong enough. Not a warrior. Destroyer, devourer, sickness.
You could be, though. I mean, listen, we've got a team here of a dragon and 2 badass college girls and 1 really religious gunman. Which I know is not that exciting, but we're pretty cool and we'll back you. Because if there's one person who deserves to go down for this, it's Jason.
Don't know what to do about other problem.
What's the other problem?
Dragon. Smell. Dragon.
Is it close? Or is it getting closer?
The problem. It waits.
Listen to me.
I hear its heartbeat. In the sky. Beyond the pale. The rest of me. Come to collect. Come
listen to me. Listen to me. I know how much it's hurting. I know that you're saying you're not a warrior. And I'm not a warrior either. I just happened to meet a handful of people, and one in particular who managed to prove to me that we don't have to be the things that everybody else envisions for us. I'm more than just a dragon, and you're more than just a plague. You're a person. There's person in you. You wouldn't be struggling like this if you weren't. And that's hard to accept.
Cruel joke, the humanity putting this in a human cruel joke.
It hurts. Boy, Annie is cruel. But you can fight it. It doesn't have to be everything you are.
You know, part of you has already tried the humanity thing and he kind of liked it. So let us show you what it's worth.
Don't want to live like this. Don't want to fix world, be hungry forever, be stuck here like this.
Maybe there's other ways to be. Maybe there's other ways to be here after, or Or maybe you can just sleep.
You don't hear them, dragon. You don't hear them. You don't hear what's beating inside me, and you don't hear them.
I don't know what you've been through, but someone who did was still willing to put it all on the line.
Should have been him. Should have been him. Was waiting for him. Should have been him.
Yeah, but it's not. Okay? He's gone. And it sucks. It's gonna suck for everybody, and it's gonna suck for a really long time. But you're here, okay? And you can choose to do something about it. You can help us, and you can help finish what he wanted to do. That's what we need.
Fight the wizard?
Fight the wizard. He's the fucking worst. Let's go kick his ass.
You're
And
the
then
only
we'll
one who
also-
can.
Yeah.
Solves that problem. Does not solve the pressing problem. You will have to solve that problem.
Tell us what it is, and we'll figure it out.
Him?
Dragon.
Right.
Him. Him out there. Do you feel him? Do you hear him? You, Rose, should feel him.
I should feel him?
You and me. We're connected to him. He's been waiting at the gates. He's been waiting at the gates for his vengeance. Waiting at the gates to take back what's his.
Rose kind of extends her hand to him. She's like, can you help me find what you're talking about?
Can't touch you, will make you sick, but can explain.
Okay.
Gods have faces. They have masks. The nameless king of dreams. The boy. The plague. They didn't bring all of him over. They cut off his finger. They brought him here and they tore a piece off of him with their teeth. And he's mad. And he's waiting. And when the hole is big enough, he will make all of us pay.
We have to shut it.
Yeah, we can't let the hole get big enough then.
There's things on this side and that side that we're not prepared to deal with.
I can't deal with him. What's in me, what's making me hungry will jump from me to it. And that would be bad. It would be so bad.
No, then you leave him to me. I'll figure it out, okay?
Fight the wizard.
You fight the wizard. I'll deal with the big guy, okay?
One condition. One condition.
Okay.
I don't have to live like this when it's over.
You don't have to live like this.
I'm not going to be hungry and sick.
No, we'll figure out a way to free you from it all, okay?
Promise me.
I swear.
Jason created what's inside of you, making you hungry. With his research, he keeps track of everything. We might be able to figure out a way to cure it.
Didn't create, no. Revived. Brought back.
I'm sure he recorded it in books, and we can undo it.
He wrote everything down. Everything down.
He was very meticulous.
Yes. Yes.
Where did he put this stuff? Friendly Thomas?
You're supposed to be dead. All of you are supposed to be dead. I am dreaming.
No, we're
No,
just a
No,
copy.
we're dead. We're totally dead. We're not the ones that died, though. It's
I killed you. You have to be dead.
we were brought back.
We're not those versions of us they died. We are reflections.
I apparently died 12 times, so well, 13 really.
where did Jason keep his notes?
You never translated the book. Brilliant trick. The wizard stores knowledge too voluminous for pages in the minds of his victims. And the key is language. The key is entries. The book of doors. You would never have read it and seen formulae for portals. You would have read it and seen everything else. Everything he did is in you.
Right. How do we get at it?
Translate the book.
Rory, get Jason's book.
Ooh, should we do it elsewhere?
You can't read it.
Who can? Can you?
I can try. Not best idea. Might awaken things in me, defeat angels of my better nature.
If it's going to put you at risk, it's okay. We'll find somebody who can.
No, we really don't have anybody else, Rose.
Magic. Users just need witches.
You need witches?
We know witches.
Boy, I think we know a handful.
Go. Translate book. Come back when ready. Can't be around too long getting hungry.
Cool.
Okay,
Go.
All right. All right, great.
We'll leave you to it. Don't hurt Kat.
The spirit forgives me my trespasses against her. She helps me, calms my nerves, shows me dreams.
Oh, bloody kind of her. What a decent cat is.
We'll translate the book and we'll come back. And then we'll
Dreams of the
figure it all out.
I will dream. I will wait.
Cool.
So we're going back to Necromancer Lady, right?
Do we think she's the play?
We'll hope she's not stuck in this time freeze.
I mean, if she's not, she has absolutely no reason to be on board with what Jason's doing.
And she's powerful enough she might have been able to avoid it.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's go
True.
see what we can do.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
If you leave the house, you find the dragon with a van, like a Suburban on his belly, just sort of chewing absentmindedly on it. Kind of mechanically. Just.
All right. Well, we got one more stop. We're going to a homeowners association.
Come on, Jeremy.
That's the right reaction. Wait, Jeremy?
Jeremy.
Why Jeremy? That's not even an Irish name.
Burbert? All right, fine. Barbert.
Herbert or Herbert?
Burbert. I heard Burbert.
There's no winning. There's no
Herbert,
winning.
don't poop in this lady's yard until after she's done what we need her to do for us.
Listen, Rory, we would never treat you like this. But he's acting like a puppy.
We did when he was a puppy. We treated him like
Well, when
this
you
because that's
act
what he
like
was.
a puppy,
Yeah,
that's
when he was.
We're getting this sorted out later, and you're going home later. I am hopping on, and yeah, I guess we are heading over to the homeowners association.
Okay. You get there again. It doesn't take long. Not on the back of a dragon, and you find a familiar sight of an ordinarily poised and confident and put together woman working up something of a sweat in sort of gym clothes athleisure as she puts together some sort of something in the front yard. She's pinning stakes to the ground and ordering various, you have to imagine their corpses to move things around. Yeah. And she just seems to kind of be constructing something.
Hello, Mrs. Anderson Rockwell. Do you remember us?
Oh, God. Of course you're here.
We will be out of your hair in like, okay, well, I don't know how long it'll take you to translate this book, but as long as it takes you to translate this book, and then we'll be gone.
Oh,
We're trying to fix that.
Of course. No, that is of course what you would do in this situation. Come strolling over here and tell me what to do.
We're asking very politely in exchange for whatever I'm sure you need.
I'm soon to wash my hands of this problem. Just need to construct my way out of here.
You can't construct your way out of this. There's no reality this isn't affecting.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that giant pillar of light over there, it's tearing holes into every universe.
You
There are
could
things
even try.
coming through.
You could try to step sideways on it, but the other ones are getting hit too.
I like grab the crystal from Rose and like, here, have a look.
I decline. What did you do?
Well, God's got stabbed.
Actually,
as
it
they do.
wasn't us who did it.
Anything.
I did.
Actually, she didn't either. Her fetch
A
did.
different you did.
Oh my goodness. It's like an episode of Passions.
Would you prefer
Fetch
that we
portals.
narrow this down as small as we could for you?
Got you, yes. Well, I've been trying to construct myself some type of altar to form a temporal portal, but if that won't work, it won't work.
Could you help us? We're trying to get some appropriate magic out of this that could help us deal with the person behind it.
Why not? Dog martini. A zombie shuffles up with a drink shaker and an empty glass. And
It's definitely her husband, isn't it?
oh, it is.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, good. Why? Mm-hmm. That seems normal. I'm not questioning anything right now.
I'm not one to cross. I will do this for you if I have your word it won't make this situation worse. Because if it does, I'll have all the time in the world to take it out on you.
That's fair. To our knowledge, it won't make it worse.
We're kind of an unknown territory here, so we can't guarantee anything, but this seems like the best way forward.
I can guarantee you that if it makes it worse, we won't be around to punish.
Tremendously comforting, that. Hand me the bloody book.
Bloop.
She takes glasses from front pocket.
Mm-hmm.
What in God's name?
I know. I've been trying to figure it out for months.
Who wrote this?
Jason Grayson.
Oh, Lord. The psychopath?
Yes.
I know that's him.
Well, I'll be damned. You know, they always said that he'd do something to break the world if he just was left his devices. Go friggin'
boy,
figure.
he's got devices, he does.
Go friggin' figure. Genius magical theorist, though. That's all this is. If I had to guess, this is a formula for a seal of some kind.
And other important piece of information, there are notes in us, it sounds like.
Made you vessels for his research?
Yes.
That's a crude trick, and it's a dirty pool doing it to someone who's alive. I mean,
Well, we might have been dead at the time.
I prefer
Well, we might not be alive now. Who knows?
squishier gray matter to store my secrets.
Aye, that seems fair. Whatever you're doing is none of my business.
Okay, so that's what's happening here. These notes are more than just a record. They're at the same time a binding on knowledge he's stored within you, and you're not human. You're vessels. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that not something you already knew, or?
Oh no, we're good.
More or less. I mean, I don't know if vessel's the word that's been used yet, but we figured out we're not quite what we remember, so it's
We're
fine.
fake. We're fake.
We're putting aside the trauma of that revelation until later.
Well, I'm not gonna be able to put aside all the trauma. If I crack this, and I think I could, it could hurt.
Do it. But there's at least, unless you can come up with a better way, do it.
We have to do this.
I don't think you understand. This magic is so utterly batshit that it hurts to look at. If I suddenly crack the floodgates and your minds fill with eldritch secrets, I'd absolutely liquefy you, boil your eyes and your skulls. It's not safe.
So it'll be Tuesday when the Kraken comes through the sky.
Oh, is that what's pushing at it?
We don't have a lot of choice here.
There's a maybe death option and a death option currently.
If I were you, I'd just cut your losses then. You pick some place for me to put it, and I will put it that place. And that way only one of you dies in horrible pain. But hopefully you can distract your revelations.
Oh, no, Edith, if you die, I'm screwed anyway.
No, I'll just give the thing to Rose on my death with my dying breath. I'll give it to
You're
Rose.
not going to die. That's not. No. What in the
Screw
hell?
you. I'm still at least partly dragon. I've got a better shot of living. I'm used to bigger secrets. My memory goes back centuries.
Wait, are you a dragon or is that a dragon?
It's got a lot of my dragon bits in it, but I'm still a bloody dragon.
Could we put it in that dragon?
Oh, but... Oh.
I could try.
Oh, alright. Oh, jeez.
That is, that's a creative solution. I could give that a shot.
Do we only have one shot, or if this part of me liquefies, can we try again?
Absolutely. I would prepare yourselves for what happens if that thing goes absolutely berserk, though.
You sure we don't want to just put it in my brain?
I'm positive of that, Edith.
Wait, if counting Bert or whatever we're calling him, that would be 3 of us on the line if you stepped up on it. Oi. We can trade on that.
Well, I was going to extract some variety of concession for my part in all this, but this just sounds damn entertaining. And I'll be honest, I don't like you lot much, so if you get incinerated by dragon fire through your own hubris, that would be mildly entertaining for me. So I'm going to give this a shot. Everybody take several steps back.
I do as told.
She starts mumbling to herself, and you can't hear. And then she sharply looks at the dragon, and you all feel as she's speaking fuzziness in your brains, and then sort of like a pulsing pain. And then for a brief moment, you white out. And then the world swims back into focus. And she's still speaking to the dragon before calling out something in some bizarre language and slamming the book shut And the dragon stands up stock straight, stiff. And she just walks back to you, hands you the book. He did not react with wrath. That's lucky.
So how do we get the information out of him?
Talk to him, I guess. I don't know.
Berbert?
Hello, me.
I see. I see you.
Good.
Yes.
We're standing right here.
Yes, small. I am not human.
No.
Sorry about that.
Might have expected. Might have expected something greater. And
You are my
I have
first-
created.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Yeah.
My name is Jason Grayson, and I am struck with terrible purpose.
Oh no.
Jason, you locked some stuff away for us. I don't suppose you want to share.
Of course, lock this away. A piece of myself. No. No. A piece of memory. A point in time. How else to preserve all my knowledge? But a pristine image plucked from the moment of my triumph. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Please share with the class.
Share what? And he's just examining himself.
Well, I don't know, what information did she put in you that
I know so much information. So much. Oh, and they hate me for it. Every word I write down, every word I publish, every advance I make. My goal's only ever to advance knowledge to secure liberation, but they fear me.
It's because you're going too far, pal.
I have not gone anywhere.
Or at least another party you did.
Did he? Did he?
I mean, he might be about to unmake everything, which would make all of your knowledge and accomplishments useless,
He did it.
worthless.
You need to undo it.
Why? Why did he do it?
He's sick.
He seems to have lost himself entirely in the idea of trying to be more.
Madness. That's madness.
Yes.
He's the definition of that.
What happened?
He is currently tearing open holes into all the other universes, and they're coming through into ours.
Yes.
And we
The
need to
king,
stop
do you
it.
remember the king?
That didn't work. There's no way.
It kind of worked.
He got part of him through.
A sliver. But the rest is getting really
His
pissed off by what
Draconic
happened.
claw comes up to his face. A piece. Of course. Of course you can't. You must trim. You must Shave, you must reduce. Oh, no. No, no, no.
Well, we have the piece. We just need to know how to use it to undo the apocalypse.
What did he summon?
A dark fae god of dreams.
The Nameless King.
Say that again.
The Nameless King got a part of him.
Why? Why choose Alboeth? There were other options, easier options, less. None of this makes sense.
In fairness, are you the person who tries the easy thing? Like, that seems like really not your shtick.
You don't understand. I would never have been that reckless. No, this isn't true.
He's lost himself to it. There have been circumstances, whatever they were, where he has gone down a road you couldn't have accounted for.
How
But
do you
he's
know?
obsessed with it.
How do you know?
Us.
We've met this Nameless King.
And we've met Jason, and he is unhinged. He is not willing to be tucked out of this.
He was working with others. It's possible someone targeted the wrong.
I was just trying to. I just wanted to know. I just wanted answers. Why would anybody want this?
Right.
Can you help us kill you?
Yes, that's the only way, isn't it?
I think so.
On the bright side, if you're still around, you seem like a much better chap.
I recommend jacketed ammunition.
He's a bit beyond that right now. I tried to blast a hole through his chest, but time's unstuck. He just reformed.
He turned the Terran plane of existence into a temporal loop.
I don't think he did it technically. I think it happened when the god and the sliver of the god exploded.
I'm playing with reality.
There's a spear up to the heavens, and there is a plan to launch a payload of plague up through it and infect all of the beings that might be found up there.
Oh, a plague. He did it all.
Yes.
He revived the one beyond sight, the horror beyond sight, the small one, the germ. He revived it.
How do we kill it? Can we burn it? Can we freeze it? Can we put it in a bottle and stick it in the bottom of the ocean?
The
Starve
one who got the plate, he wants to help us.
How far gone?
As in, how far gone is the person who is inhabited by that plague?
The horror beyond sight is a universe in itself, smaller than even the human eye can see. It feeds on power you can't imagine and grows and seeks others to latch onto and feed from. You starve it when it's young. How young is it?
A year
six. What was it? Was it 6 months that we've been playing?
a
Year.
1 year. Okay, yeah, 1 year.
What is he fed on?
Oh, they're shards of himself. The other ones that were out there, there were significant
Parts of a
pieces
god.
lost in the dream realm and within our friend, but all
He
of the
regained
others.
the semblance of his true strength. There's no starving it now.
He's capable of being reasoned with, at least.
Yeah, he doesn't want to keep eating. He just wants to not.
Guys, Thomas is capable of being reasoned with. The thing inside him, we didn't talk to.
No, it's probably for the best. The horror beyond sight was always a shield. It was not supposed to be a sword.
He's saying that he'd be willing to try and fight to put the other you through the hole, and that should generate the energy we need to close it.
Has to fight here.
Exactly.
Has to fight here. That's what he's for. That's what he's for. This wasn't supposed to happen.
There's one other person that may be able to help, but at least if we can find him, and I figure you might be interested. And I just had this thought now that we've got him about. We considered trying to get a hold of his brother.
Hayden?
Oh, Hayden.
That would be a tragic irony.
Bye.
He was always so small-minded, so unambitious.
Look at where ambition's gotten us, pal.
Probably not going to matter right now.
We were supposed to open a way beyond so that the riches of the universe could be shared with this painful mortal existence. The horror beyond sight was supposed to be an incentive to stay away so that hideous and horrible forces that might victimize this world while we got answers would avoid this place lest they get sick and die.
He's dragging him in there.
It wasn't supposed to work this way. Okay, what did you need?
I think we need you to tell us the information that's in our brains, and also we need to take you back to the plague guy, and then we need to go kill Jason. And then we also need to figure out how to kill the plague.
I'm the information in your brains.
All right.
Oh, so will you come back with us?
What would you expect me to do?
Why? Okay, cool. Good.
Do you want me to take on myself and some grand wizard's duel in this dragon's body? Doesn't work that way. I don't have knowledge. I don't have access to my magic.
The closest, any help you can provide would be good. Also, my original body, which should be about as powerful as you, is also there, so you might be able to help out with that at least.
Your original body?
I died. I'm a simulacrum. I am dealing with it. You've got the dragony bits of me right now.
This is you?
I'm
so small.
A version.
It's
all I could do, and it was my first time conjuring anything.
No, how are you a child? If you're one of the 7, how are you so young?
We've been around for a few hundred years.
A few hundred years?
Aye.
Last dragons disappeared nearly 2,000 years ago. How have you only been around for a few hundred years?
My mother had a whole clutch in Ireland.
One of the 7?
And why? Yeah, can we go back to that one then?
As far as I can tell through my travels, about 7 dragons, 7 worms left in the world. The youngest one I've met other than you is a whole lot older.
Did you know one named Dorian?
That name is familiar to me. I can't put my claw on it, but I've heard that name before.
Cool.
We're trying to track it down now.
Huh. Well, we have a wormling. It's not nothing. You're going to need to do something about that. There's no way to restore the integrity of the horizon unless you get it out of here.
Boy,
the best that we've pointing his claw at the pillar of light.
Boy, the best that we've gotten so far is one other talented magical mind has informed us that by putting enough energy through it, and it can't be something from that side, it might be able to close it. The best shot we've figured out so far is other Jason. And the only person capable of doing it that we found is our plague-carrying friend, who is being quite reasonable given the circumstances.
Wait. So your theory is a transmission of eldritch energy through the hole in the horizon to create a transference that shuts it behind it.
Oh, check him.
That should work. But you're going to need to get that out of here.
You're preaching to the choir, friend.
Step 2.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know how you're going to do that.
Best to deal with what we can deal with as soon as we can, though. Why?
It's all for naught if you can't get the finger of the Armageddon out of the world.
I'm working on that.
Maybe they could go together.
How are you going to coax him to leave? You think you're going to just ask nicely?
You mean
He doesn't want to be here.
Yeah, he wants to go home.
He wants to or something. He doesn't want to keep living the way he is.
Here pretty bad to me. I mean,
look, that's the next.
Or a hole in reality.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about the king, or are we talking about?
What do you think that is? And he points at the pillar again.
That was our friend exploding.
No, it's not.
What is it?
Have you looked at it?
I take a good look.
What do you see?
Light?
That's not
piercing
right.
up into other realms.
Oh, of course, you have mortal minds.
It's tearing a hole from our reality into all the other realities, and letting things through.
So you see it. You see the shards.
I saw it when I looked at this crystal. It hurt me.
The shards. You saw the shards. So, another perceptive individual. Interesting. It's not coming from Earth, friends.
Where is it coming from? Why must you speak in riddles? Just give us the information we need. Oh my God!
It's Aldebaoth, girl, clawing his way into our reality.
That is the now fingerless god?
That's another one of his fingers. I'm guessing it's the middle one. He's coming. The only reason you're not seeing more of him is because time has stopped. But he'll figure it out.
Okay. All right.
Did you get him over here, if you don't mind?
We didn't decide it. You did.
How did I do it? How? The ritual that I had theoretically planned to make contact with that thing would have taken years to piece together.
I think it did.
You spent quite a while on it.
So how did that happen?
We were trying to get all the shards back together, and one of our fetches, which other Jason created, murdered our friend and the other part of the Nameless King,
trapped in
impaled them through the ground, and that unleashed the energy that started tearing a hole in reality.
Oh, I know.
Might have set up a signal flare for him.
In a word. So when you kill something like that, I've always theorized that. Are you all familiar with the law of conservation of energy?
Yes.
It's a universal constant. On such a degree, I'm imagining it's a multiversal constant. I always assumed, and a big part of my theoretical work assumed, that the power of a creature of that magnitude has to remain intact. He's immortal, after all. So when pieces of him here died, they tore a hole in our reality to get back to their original self. And he's here, and he looks angry to me. That's bad.
It's tearing through not just back to his universe, but to other planes of existence.
Of course. You have a task before you. I don't envy.
We have a what?
You have a task before you that I don't envy.
Hold on. Technical issue.
One moment. I'm trying to figure out my feedback.
Oh, there we go. That fixed it.
Testing,
Yeah.
testing, 1, 2, 3. Am I
Testing,
a
testing.
goey?
Yep.
Hello.
No, we fixed it.
All right, we're good.
You have a task before you that is not enviable. The only way to effectively close the hole in reality is to get him out of it. That means you need to make contact.
All
Means
right,
you need to go over there.
great. So we negotiate and then try to patch it.
You go over there, you make contact. You hope that you aren't shredded by the very presence of something that mighty. And oh, yeah, you try to stop myself from preventing you from doing it. That sounds very difficult.
All right, so Plague Carrier has to engage the other you. If you're willing, come with us. You can help fly us past, or at least like get us to a point where we can get up to that beam, try and get through, and maybe hold off the other me, which is helping guard it.
Have any of you tried to approach it?
No, yeah.
I have.
Oh, he did. He did.
What happened?
Almost killed me. Would almost certainly have if I proceeded much further.
Yes,
Well,
I think
pieces
that
of
must be
Thomas's
done.
power. Could we use that?
Question. If he's coming over here and messing with time and whatnot, I'm assuming that means he's pulling pieces of his universe, etc., over with him, right?
Stands to reason. That's actually a remarkably apt observation.
Remember when we were there the first time?
And in the dreams.
Anything we imagined happened.
Yeah, I made him a rug.
So what if just instead of, walking through and dying, we just imagine not dying?
You just want to try taking a nap, see if you can get a hold of him?
I was
If
gonna
he's
say,
actively trying to get into this world, and we've talked to him before, we should have a better signal than everybody else, since we're actually not frozen in time, too.
I like Edith's plan a little bit. I think that we could go in there and at least with the bits of Thomas's power we have left and this kind of concept that we can create reality, surely we could create somewhere that is safe enough to meet with him.
You could create a ground that you could interact with him that would not be quite so dangerous.
Right.
Middle ground.
And I think we could try sleeping too, but if the point is that we have to go over there, then I think we should be prepared to make over there hospitable.
An in-between place.
Right.
I will help you.
Thank you.
I need to make this right.
You're the first version of you that I haven't wanted to bloody murder.
It wasn't supposed to be this way.
Yeah, we suck.
This is horrible. This is a crime against reality itself.
Hey, Jason, one favor. You make it through this, bloody learn from it.
I won't.
Right?
I won't make it through it. I'm going to take you to the hole in the sky when it's time. I'm going to be unmade, but I'll get you through it. Then it will be on you to figure out some way to preserve yourselves. Conceptualization is as neat a plan as any. And then you negotiate for the future of the world with a god. All well, I probably throw fireballs at us and fight the one infected version of said god. You are a very dramatic group of people.
Oh, we're dramatic? Are you for real?
It would have been so much easier if I'd just
That's
been able to bloody eat
such
you
a-
the first time I tried.
Such a weird question. You're asking a dragon that we created and now put memories Jason stored in us into him. And you're asking him if he's real. I don't even know how to answer that.
For the love of God, let's go.
And also, we're not real. Question out of character.
Yes.
Just because I feel like it would be a nice thing to do. Would we know where Aiden is?
Yeah, he'd probably have been at the college.
Mm-hmm.
Which we are headed back that way.
Do we think that your brother might have any further insights
On this.
We're probably only getting one shot at this. I also figure that if he has to,
I vote we kidnap him and make him fight with us.
That really seems fair.
He can
There's
do
no
that.
guarantee he's not unmoored like we are.
true, but at the very least, if you're pretty sure you're about to be unmade and the one sane bit of his brother is about to be erased, I'm exactly enough human right now to care that he might want to say bye.
I'm going to recommend otherwise.
You recommend we not get the other wizard that we know who's actually on our side to help us fight the bad wizard that we know who is definitely going to try to kill us?
What have you learned about magic? Do you know how it works?
I
No.
know a bit.
You break the rules of reality by conceiving of forces beyond that can do it, inviting them over here, speaking their language, folding space-time in on itself. Well, as you are aware, when people do that, it breaks them. It eats away at them. The more they break the rules of the universe, the more the universe bites back. All sorts of trouble and paradoxes manifest. It's been a limiting problem for the development and advancement of magical ability on this world forever. But Aiden and our father, he had a theory that if he exposed children young enough, impressionable enough to the most advanced and worst magic that exists, that he could leapfrog the mental decay, that we would develop perception that wouldn't be so self-destructive, that we could advance. Whatever I've seen made me into that. You can take the risk that it won't have the same impact on my brother, but it's a risk.
Well, is there something you'd want us to tell him, assuming we all survive this?
Yes. Tell him that no matter what I said, I always admired that he tried to do good.
That's bullshit.
To a degree, but it'll mean a lot to him. I don't care if he believes it or not. If he does, maybe he sleeps a little easier. I don't know.
Is there anything left for it but to get going then?
Let's do it.
Will he know to meet you there?
We
The
can
peace
go
of the
tell him
God.
real quick.
Well, who know to meet us there?
The peace of the God.
Oh.
Well, I think that he's...
We
No,
should
we're
go-
supposed to do that.
Yeah, we have to go get him.
What's more, the other you might just imagine that we're finally taking his offer and clearing the path, as he requested me to. Not
We'll
gonna
see what
lie,
happens.
he's a cocky piece of shit, he is.
Wouldn't you be if you had the power of the universe at your fingertips?
Alright, well that hits a bit close to home. Let's move.
He offers to take you wherever you want to go. Answer
If-
any further questions.
Oh boy, I'm sure I would have a million, but I don't know how many of them that Rory would actually think to ask in these circumstances.
While we're flying over there, Michael's going to try and take a nap and reach out, see if he can reach the
Roll
Nameless
weird.
King. 5.
You get to sleep.
Good luck, point it.
And it's and does anyone join him, or is this something, Mike, that you do kind of on your own?
Wait.
I think Rose would try to poke at it, but probably not through sleep. So good luck, Mike.
All right.
I'll let him take this moment.
So
take it to just Michael and me. You find yourself back in what you remember as the dream space, but everything is wrong. The grass is dead. The river is dry. The cabin is on fire. It's a desolate and horrific scene.
I'm going to start hosing down the burning cabin with water.
You don't have any trouble manifesting water. You know how this works now. Every time you put the fire out, it seems to replenish. But the more you conjure water, the more you interact with the dream space, the more you feel this pressure, this sense that everything you're doing is slowly but surely turning a great and terrible notice your direction. And as that notice grows, you feel a pressure almost akin to psychic gravity being turned on you. But you still appear to be alone.
I came here hoping we could talk. We've spoken in the past. I've struck deals with you.
You feel, I suppose the closest corollary you can immediately conjure is curiosity. But neither a friendly nor a hostile curiosity. Like a sudden, oh, the ant is speaking.
I know what you're trying to do, and I can't say I am entirely opposed to it. I don't know how much you know of what occurred over here.
You feel a flash of indignance, of wrath, of pride. You understand somewhere in your core that this great and terrible thing was hurt when it shouldn't have been hurt, was made to feel vulnerable when it shouldn't have been made to feel vulnerable, and it has come to take vengeance, to spray the anthill.
I hope you understand that there's only one man still alive who did this to you. Is out of character, is that correct? There's only one guy alive still who...
As far as you know. You feel another flash of pain and anger and a glimpse of understanding. If one can do it, anyone can do it. You all have to die.
I don't know how much you remember or even know of what the piece of you who interacted with us knows, but we tried to help you in what little way we could.
A sudden deafening psychic roar, like an airplane engine going off right next to your ear at the mention of pieces of yourself. and you feel that notice, that pressure bearing down on you with such ferocity it drives you to your knees, and that curiosity becomes a burning, horrible need. Me, mine, where?
I'm sorry. You try. Do you want to find out the other pieces of you?
Where you feel the thundering knowledge.
Where? They're coming towards the rift, towards the gap.
More psychic noise. You almost feel him straining, reaching, trying. But you feel the anger growing as the frustration does.
We're coming to you. If you can help us in any way, we can help you get reunited.
You get the sense that it's not paying attention to you anymore. It's honing in, feeling its way through a little hole in reality, trying to find itself. You're the fly buzzing around its head that it has decided is no longer its current priority. You even feel the pressure of its notice leaving you.
There is some danger coming that could harm even you.
A flash of, how dare you?
Not from me. The danger isn't from me, not from us. The one who pulled you through means to do you harm by sending something else through that can hurt you.
A flash of wrath, I will crush him.
I don't want him to succeed. I don't want him to have any success in what he's trying to do to hurt you. When we get through, you need to at least talk to us. Get
The
the full story.
curiosity returns. Talk.
You know enough of our world to understand what diseases are in our world. I assume. I'm ignorant of much of this. But I assume you understand that.
Flash of pride and arrogance. This thing does not feel it can get sick.
There is something. I wonder if he knows it. The horror beyond sight. Is that a term you know? Have you heard it from our world?
The curiosity spikes. Nothing specific, just again that general feeling of regard and notice. You have its attention back.
This thing gains strength by consuming power. If it can consume the power of something like you, it would become phenomenally powerful. You are so tremendously powerful that it's going to want to feed on you. It's already fed on little parts of you and gained great strength.
You feel its hackles raise and that flash of pride again, almost this sense of like, well, it can fucking try, but it's listening to you.
I don't know what the answer is, but this thing, it's like a deadly virus is to humans, from my understanding of it. And this insane wizard who managed to scratch you, which is, I know, not significant to you, but it's an amazing feat for one of us to do something like that to someone like you. He thinks this could kill you, and I fear he might be right.
You feel the rage again, but it's not directed at you this time. And then a sudden flash of understanding, like a question has entered your mind. You would seek to parley with one such as me.
I think it might be beneficial to you also. I know it would help me. My other option is fighting you, and that's beyond foolhardy.
More psychic rumbling. Why does one as small and as brief as you care to even try?
Jason came from my world. He's somewhat my responsibility when it comes to different worlds. And if his plan works, it won't just kill you, it'll kill billions of other creatures, other life forms that I can't even understand.
You feel it thinking. You can feel it thinking. It's almost like this dream world is collapsing in on itself and then pulsing outward, oscillating like a heartbeat. The psychic noise is increasing, but the pain and discomfort from it is lessening. And you feel the regard again, but this time with no gravity, with no power, and an understanding. If you come, and the tone is almost bemused, it's that curiosity again. I will speak. And then you wake up as if you had caught yourself falling.
So, if we get
Were you
through,
asleep back there?
yes, and I managed to get through and talk to the Nameless King.
Great.
Oh,
If we get through, he's agreed to at least talk to us before he kills us. Or he will at least hear us out.
that is a win. We're winning by the low standards that we have for that right now.
He understands that Jason's the one who cut off a part of him, and that I think he believes Jason's plan to kill him has a chance of working. So he's interested in hearing what we have to say.
We trust this thing? It
Hell no!
fun.
It wants to kill Jason, so we at least have that going for us.
I don't think we should trust it for a second, but we have to try and negotiate.
It wants to wipe out our entire planet, our entire universe. So there is that.
We should be thinking on plays we can make to bargain away from that.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Okay. All right. Well,
The Nameless King shard we spoke to, we bargained with in our dreams, it seemed to have some sort of sense of fair play and tit for tat. If we keep this thing from dying and from killing off every other being in the multiverse out there, maybe he'll feel obligated not to kill us all off.
that'd be neat if that is how it happens. Maybe we can offer some sort of reassurance. Maybe there's some sort of magic we can work afterwards that we could promise to try and lock him off or stop others from doing similar things in the future. I don't know.
Edith, roll sharp.
Edith is not happy about this.
That seems fair.
That's why I'm having Edith roll sharp.
9.
Edith, you've been going through some stuff mentally this whole time, and your brain, we all know it, has not stopped spinning, has not stopped chewing on everything it has learned. And you know how Michael is going to want this to end. And you know how Rose is going to want this to end and how Rory's going to want this to end. You know what the happy ending is. And you know what this thing is going to want.
It's going to want more people.
Quite possibly. Or just one.
No.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And with that,
Ah!
part
No.
one concludes.
No.
And we are a third of the way through the season 1 finale of Weldport. Tune in next time for part 2 of The End, as our party, such as the Motley Crew is, reconstitutes itself and takes an end run at trying to save the world. What will happen? What revelations still lie in store?
We're doing a Death Star. A Death Star.
Assuming nobody's sick, we will be here next Tuesday.
Answers await, but so do more questions.
Oh my God. We'll see you guys next week.
Tune in
Bye,
next
guys.
time.